Did you know that Britain's immigration system has quietly transformed beneath the surface, changing who can enter, work, and even reunite with family? From higher salary thresholds to cutting-edge digital borders, these hidden updates are already reshaping daily life for millions. Whether you're a student, an employer, or a citizen planning your future, these 10 changes could affect your opportunities in ways you might not expect. Stay with us as we uncover the 10 most crucial immigration updates every Brit must know in 2025, because what you don't know about these new rules could change everything. Number 1. Global Talent and Investment Visa Reform. The Global Talent and Investment Visa Reform stands as the most impactful immigration change shaping Britain's future. The UK government has merged several visa routes such as the entrepreneur, investor, and global talent pathways into a single, streamlined system designed to attract high-value individuals. This unified approach is intended to simplify applications while tightening regulations to ensure that only genuine innovators and investors benefit. The reform introduces more rigorous vetting procedures, demanding evidence of real business activity, proven innovation, or tangible investment contributions to the British economy. This shift reflects the country's focus on economic growth through skilled professionals, rather than passive wealth holders seeking residency. For entrepreneurs, this change could redefine the way startups approach British markets. Applicants must now demonstrate clear business plans, job creation potential, and measurable social impact. Those seeking entry through investment routes are expected to show not just financial capability but sustainable economic engagement. For example, instead of simply depositing capital, investors are encouraged to fund ventures that promote technological advancement or regional development. This approach seeks to ensure that every visa granted directly supports the UK's broader economic and social goals. However, this also raises the bar for applicants, making the process more competitive and requiring detailed documentation, ongoing reporting, and consistent compliance checks. For British citizens, the reform carries subtle yet significant implications. A stronger focus on innovation and entrepreneurship may boost local job creation, research funding, and international partnerships. Universities and tech hubs are likely to benefit from the influx of global experts, bringing fresh perspectives and advanced skills. Yet, stricter entry rules could slow down foreign investment in certain industries, particularly among small businesses that once relied on less restrictive visa routes. This balance between openness and control demonstrates the UK's evolving stance on immigration, welcoming talent that builds the nation while safeguarding economic integrity. For anyone planning to engage with Britain's business or innovation landscape, understanding these visa reforms is essential to navigating the opportunities and challenges of 2025 and beyond. Number 2. New border control technology. The rollout of new border control technology marks one of the most visible and transformative changes in Britain's immigration landscape. The introduction of the Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA) system and advanced biometric screening aims to create faster, safer, and more efficient border crossings. Every visitor, including those from visa-exempt countries, will now need pre-approval before travelling to the UK. The ETA functions like a digital pass, allowing authorities to screen travellers in advance, reducing delays and potential security risks. The government emphasises that these systems will streamline travel while strengthening national security by identifying risks before arrival. The process relies heavily on automation, facial recognition, and AI-based data analysis to process millions of passengers more efficiently. For travellers and residents alike, this digital transformation brings both convenience and adjustment. Imagine walking through an airport where your face becomes your passport, a seamless experience powered by biometric verification. However, this modernization also raises concerns about data privacy, digital errors, and accessibility for those less familiar with technology. Travelers are now required to maintain accurate digital profiles and ensure their information matches government databases precisely. Any mismatch or technical error could lead to delays or temporary travel restrictions. British citizens returning from abroad may also notice new e-gate systems, enhanced by AI tools capable of verifying identities in seconds. Although this advancement promises smoother travel, it demands vigilance in ensuring that personal data is securely managed and regularly updated. From a national perspective, these innovations represent the UK's ambition to position itself at the forefront of smart border management. The move aligns with global trends seen in nations like the United States, and Australia, which have adopted similar systems to improve border security. Economically, it could enhance tourism efficiency and reduce administrative costs in the long term. Yet, the balance between convenience and privacy remains delicate. Citizens and visitors will need to adapt to a future where international movement depends as much on technology as on traditional documentation, reshaping how Britain connects with the world. Number 3. Work rights for asylum seekers. One of the most debated immigration updates is the expansion of work rights for asylum seekers, a policy shift that aims to balance humanitarian responsibility with economic practicality. Under this change, certain asylum seekers who have been waiting for decisions on their cases for extended periods may now be allowed to take up limited employment opportunities. This initiative is part of a broader strategy to reduce illegal work, ease pressure on public support systems, and promote smoother integration into British society. The government believes that providing lawful employment pathways can reduce exploitation, improve mental well-being, and help asylum seekers contribute to the economy while awaiting their case outcomes. This marks a notable departure from previous policies that restricted asylum applicants from working, sometimes for years. For many asylum seekers, this development offers a sense of dignity, stability, and independence. Being able to earn legally allows individuals to support their families and gain valuable experience within the UK job market. Employers, especially in industries facing labour shortages, such as hospitality, care, and agriculture, could also benefit from a new pool of motivated workers. However, the reform introduces specific conditions. Applicants must meet eligibility criteria, possess relevant skills, and work only in approved occupations. This ensures that opportunities are fairly distributed while preventing potential misuse of the system. By allowing asylum seekers to participate constructively, the policy promotes inclusion and lessens the social and financial burdens on government resources. On a national scale, this reform carries social and economic implications. It encourages a more compassionate, pragmatic approach to immigration, while addressing workforce demands that have intensified since Brexit. Critics argue that the policy might incentivize more asylum applications, but supporters highlight the evidence from other nations where similar reforms improved both integration and productivity. For British citizens, this change may lead to stronger community connections and better understanding between locals and newcomers. It represents a step toward a more balanced and humane immigration framework, one that values human potential while maintaining structured oversight, a model that could redefine Britain's image on the global stage. Number 4. Changes to the Shortage Occupation List. The Shortage Occupation List, SOL, has undergone major updates that could reshape the UK's employment landscape in 2025. Traditionally, this list identifies roles that face significant skill shortages, allowing employers to hire foreign workers more easily and at lower visa costs. The recent revisions, however, have removed or reclassified several key professions, particularly in sectors like hospitality, construction, and healthcare. The government's reasoning lies in encouraging employers to invest in local training rather than relying on overseas labour. Yet, these changes could create ripple effects across industries already struggling to find skilled staff. For instance, positions such as chefs, care assistants, and bricklayers, once common on the SOL, now face tougher sponsorship requirements, forcing businesses to rethink recruitment strategies. For British workers, the shift may open new employment opportunities as companies focus more on upskilling local talent. Training programs and apprenticeships are expected to expand, supported by new government incentives. However, this transition will take time. Small businesses that previously depended on international workers could experience immediate strain, leading to longer service delays and potential increases in operational costs. Consumers might notice subtle impacts in their daily lives: restaurants with fewer staff, care homes with reduced availability, or construction projects progressing more slowly. Employers are now urged to assess their workforce planning carefully and consider collaborations with local colleges and vocational centres to address gaps sustainably. From a broader perspective, the revision of the SOL reflects the UK's intent to balance economic independence with global competitiveness. By limiting easy access to foreign labour, policymakers hope to strengthen domestic industries and ensure fair wages. Yet, the change also sparks debate about practicality, given that certain skills cannot be developed overnight. Economists warn that too sharp a reduction in foreign recruitment could slow growth in vital sectors. The real challenge lies in achieving equilibrium, maintaining a steady labour supply while empowering the British workforce. Whether this policy succeeds will depend on how swiftly both employers and institutions adapt to this evolving immigration framework. Number 5. EU Settlement Scheme Tightening. The EU Settlement Scheme, EUSS, once celebrated for its simplicity, has entered a new phase marked by stricter oversight and additional compliance requirements. Originally introduced after Brexit to secure the rights of EU citizens residing in the UK, the scheme allowed millions to apply for either settled or pre-settled status. However, the latest policy updates require those with pre-settled status to reapply or verify their residency through a new digital process before their status expires. This change aims to ensure that only genuinely eligible residents maintain legal rights to live and work in the country. The government has also introduced automated checks linked to HMRC and DWP records, verifying continuous residence through tax and employment data. While these updates enhance accuracy, they have raised concerns about data errors and unintentional disqualification of long-term residents who may not appear consistently in official databases. For EU citizens living in Britain, this tightening of rules adds a new layer of administrative pressure. Those who once considered their immigration status secure must now remain vigilant, keeping digital records updated and ensuring that their residence history aligns with government systems. Many community organisations have reported confusion among older or less tech-savvy applicants who struggle with the online-only format. Failing to meet reapplication deadlines could result in the loss of work rights, access to healthcare, or even risk of removal. Legal advisors now urge EU nationals to check their immigration accounts regularly and seek guidance well before their status renewal dates. This situation highlights the growing importance of digital awareness in maintaining lawful residence under the UK's evolving immigration model. For the broader public, these changes signify Britain's shift toward a data-driven immigration system that prioritises continuous verification over static documentation. The government argues this creates a fairer and more efficient process, yet critics warn of potential hardships for law-abiding residents caught in bureaucratic errors. Balancing efficiency with empathy remains the ultimate challenge. As technology continues to underpin immigration control, EU citizens in Britain must adapt quickly to safeguard their rights and stay fully compliant in this newly tightened regulatory environment. Number 6. Digital-only immigration status. The UK's transition to a digital-only immigration status marks a defining moment in modern border management. Physical documents such as biometric residence permits, BRPs, and vignette stickers are being phased out, replaced entirely by electronic verification systems. Each migrant's legal status is now stored within the government's secure digital platform, accessible online through personal immigration accounts. This change aims to improve efficiency, reduce document fraud, and align with the country's broader move toward paperless administration. However, it also represents a cultural shift, demanding a higher level of digital literacy and personal responsibility. The system allows border agents, employers, and landlords to verify an individual's status through online checks, rather than physical evidence, fundamentally transforming how immigration proof is handled in daily life. For many residents, this update offers clear benefits such as faster processing, reduced risk of lost documents, and simplified renewals. Yet, the change also introduces challenges. Those without reliable internet access, digital skills, or up-to-date devices may find it difficult to navigate their immigration accounts effectively. Technical errors could delay work authorizations or housing agreements, placing vulnerable individuals at risk of misunderstanding or misclassification. Advocacy groups have urged the government to provide alternative access options, especially for older migrants or those in rural areas. Citizens and employers must now adapt to digital verification tools, understanding how to generate and check share codes, while ensuring they comply with privacy regulations. This shift symbolizes a broader societal expectation that immigration management should be as instantaneous and transparent as online banking. From a wider policy perspective, the digital-only approach reflects the UK's ambition to lead in smart governance and data security. It positions immigration management within the digital economy, allowing real-time updates and improved coordination between departments. Still, privacy experts continue to raise concerns about data protection, cyber risks, and potential misuse of sensitive information. The challenge lies in balancing technological progress with accessibility and fairness. As the UK enters this fully digital era, understanding how to manage and protect one's online immigration status becomes not just a bureaucratic necessity, but an essential life skill for all foreign residents. Number 7. Stricter family visa income rules. The tightening of family visa income rules has become one of the most personally impactful changes in the UK's immigration framework. Under the new policy, British citizens and residents who wish to sponsor a spouse or partner from abroad must now meet a significantly higher income threshold. Previously, the minimum requirement allowed a broader range of families to qualify, but the updated standard reflects rising living costs and a government effort to ensure that incoming dependents are financially supported without relying on public funds. This shift aims to promote economic stability among sponsored families, yet it also raises concerns about fairness and accessibility, particularly for lower-income earners. For many couples, these new income levels may determine whether they can live together in the UK, making this reform both financially and emotionally challenging. The changes extend beyond just salary figures. Sponsors are now required to provide more comprehensive evidence of their financial stability, including tax returns, employment contracts, and long-term earnings projections. The government has also tightened oversight on self-employed sponsors, demanding detailed business records to verify consistent income. Critics argue that these added layers of bureaucracy could create unnecessary obstacles for genuine families, especially those living in regions where wages fall below the national average. Families already separated by borders may now face longer waiting times and higher application costs, increasing emotional strain. Legal advisors recommend that potential sponsors plan ahead financially and ensure all supporting documents meet the updated requirements to avoid rejection or delays in the approval process. From a broader perspective, this policy illustrates the UK's evolving stance on family migration, seeking to balance compassion with economic responsibility. While officials defend the change as necessary to maintain sustainable immigration, advocacy groups warn that it could inadvertently divide families and discourage multicultural integration. The reform underscores a deeper question about what it means to build a family in modern Britain, one that increasingly connects financial capacity with the right to live together. Understanding these updated income rules is essential for anyone planning to reunite with loved ones under the current immigration system. Number 8. Health surcharge increase. The rise in the immigration health surcharge, IHS, has emerged as one of the most financially significant changes for migrants entering or extending their stay in the UK. This surcharge, originally introduced to help fund the National Health Service, must be paid upfront by most visa applicants as part of their immigration process. The recent increase means that individuals and families will now face substantially higher costs before securing their visas. For a single applicant, the new rate adds hundreds of pounds per year, while families applying together could see their total costs reach several thousand. The government justifies the rise as necessary to reflect the true cost of healthcare access, arguing that it ensures fairness between taxpayers and migrants using NHS services. However, the impact on affordability and accessibility has sparked widespread debate among policy experts and community organisations. For many migrants, this increase presents both financial and emotional hurdles. International students, temporary workers, and skilled professionals now face higher upfront expenses, which may discourage some from choosing the UK as their destination. Those renewing visas must budget carefully, as missing or miscalculating the surcharge payment can result in delayed or refused applications. Health and advocacy groups warn that the rise could deepen inequality, particularly for lower-income applicants who already contribute to the UK economy through taxes. The surcharge applies regardless of whether individuals actually use NHS services, creating frustration for those who maintain private healthcare or seldom visit medical facilities. Migrants are therefore urged to plan their applications early, verify fee changes regularly, and seek guidance to avoid unexpected costs. From a national perspective, the higher surcharge represents a government effort to maintain the financial sustainability of public healthcare amid growing demand. Supporters believe it reinforces accountability and ensures that all residents contribute fairly to shared resources. Yet, critics argue that it risks reducing Britain's global competitiveness and undermines its reputation as a welcoming hub for skilled talent. The challenge now lies in balancing fiscal responsibility with openness, ensuring that healthcare funding remains strong without deterring the very individuals who enrich the UK's workforce and cultural diversity. Number 9. Graduate Visa Review under scrutiny. The Graduate Visa Review has become a focal point of discussion among universities, policymakers, and international students across the UK. This visa route, introduced in 2021, allows overseas graduates to remain in the country for up to 2 years after completing their studies to gain work experience. However, the government's recent decision to reassess the scheme has raised concerns about its future. Officials argue that the review aims to prevent misuse and ensure the system continues to attract only the most qualified talent. The focus is shifting toward verifying whether graduates genuinely contribute to the UK labour market, rather than using the route merely as an extended stay. This heightened scrutiny reflects broader immigration reforms prioritising economic contribution and skills alignment, particularly in industries facing labour shortages. For international students, the uncertainty surrounding the review has created anxiety and prompted many to reconsider their post-study plans. Universities, which rely heavily on international enrolments, have warned that tighter restrictions could reduce the UK's competitiveness compared to countries like Canada or Australia. The possibility of shortened stay durations or stricter job requirements could affect students who hope to transition from study to long-term employment. At the same time, employers may face reduced access to newly trained talent, particularly in fields such as engineering, healthcare, and technology. Experts note that the graduate visa has played a key role in maintaining the UK's global academic reputation, helping attract bright minds who contribute innovation, diversity, and research excellence. Nationally, this review represents the government's attempt to fine-tune immigration policy in line with evolving economic needs. While some policymakers argue that a more selective approach will uphold the integrity of the system, others warn that excessive tightening could harm the UK's educational export market, a sector worth billions annually. The outcome of the review will likely shape how universities market themselves abroad and how graduates plan their futures within the UK. Whether the system remains open or becomes more restrictive, it underscores a pivotal question. How can Britain balance academic opportunity with economic control in an increasingly competitive global education landscape? Number 10. New salary threshold for skilled workers. The revision of the salary threshold for skilled workers marks one of the most far-reaching immigration changes affecting both employers and foreign professionals in the UK. Under the updated system, the minimum salary requirement for sponsorship has risen significantly, reflecting the government's push to ensure that immigration aligns with the national interest and fair wage standards. This increase means that many roles, which once qualified for skilled visas, may no longer meet the necessary pay level, particularly in industries with lower average wages, such as hospitality, education, and social care. The policy is designed to encourage businesses to hire locally where possible, raise wages, and reduce dependency on overseas labour. Yet, critics argue that it could intensify existing workforce shortages, particularly in essential sectors already struggling to recruit. The change underscores the government's broader goal of creating a high-wage, high-skill economy that values local employment while remaining open to exceptional international talent. For employers, the new threshold brings both opportunities and challenges. Companies seeking to sponsor foreign workers must now carefully evaluate whether they can meet the increased salary criteria. Many smaller firms may struggle to compete with larger organizations that have greater financial flexibility, potentially widening the gap between corporate and local business recruitment capabilities. To adapt, employers are encouraged to review their sponsorship licenses, reassess job descriptions, and ensure all contracts align with the revised salary standards. Failure to comply could lead to visa rejections or penalties for non-compliance. At the same time, sectors that depend heavily on international expertise, such as engineering and technology, may face heightened competition for a smaller pool of eligible candidates. From a broader perspective, this adjustment represents a recalibration of the UK's immigration priorities. By linking entry eligibility to higher earnings, the government aims to attract workers who contribute significant economic value. However, the long-term success of this policy will depend on whether wage growth within the UK keeps pace with employer needs. If not, the risk remains that stricter thresholds could deter valuable global talent. Ultimately, The new salary rules redefine how Britain positions itself in the global labour market: ambitious, selective, and increasingly competitive. The landscape of UK immigration in 2025 is evolving faster than ever, redefining how people live, work, and connect across borders. From rising salary thresholds and digital-only immigration statuses to tightened family visa rules and new border technologies, each change signals a shift toward a more selective yet technologically advanced system. These updates are not just about policy, they influence real lives, shaping futures, families, and careers. For British citizens, the impact extends beyond migration itself, affecting job markets, education, and even the nation's cultural identity. Understanding these developments is no longer optional. It's essential for navigating the opportunities and challenges ahead. As the UK positions itself in a post-Brexit, globally competitive environment, these reforms reveal a vision of control, innovation, and economic balance. Yet, the success of these policies will depend on how fairly and effectively they are implemented. Whether you're an employer seeking global talent, a student planning to study abroad, or a family hoping to reunite, staying informed will help you make confident decisions in this changing environment. Immigration today isn't just about borders, it's about belonging, contribution, and adaptation to a new era of global movement. If you found this breakdown insightful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which immigration change surprised you the most? And if you want to dive deeper, check out our next video: how these immigration shifts could reshape UK jobs in 2026. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay ahead.